Welcome back to Soda City Live, everyone. It is Wednesday, which means it is Be Well Wednesday, and finally, after like a 2-3 week hiatus,
it's only been 10 years.
Oh my goodness, we have the James Patrick joining us again, our fitness guru. You may notice this week is a little different because, y'all, I'm tired.
She's tired. She has a valid excuse.
Yes, I have a valid excuse, so I will not be working out today, but James is still going to share some great tips for expecting mothers who are dealing with lower back issues. Yeah. And you don't have to be expecting, obviously, to be dealing with lower back issues. So we're going to talk today about exercises for lower back inflammation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I am pregnant too, Religion. I'm pregnant with that information.
All right. He's about to go into labor with the details.
Going into labor in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody knows that low back inflammation is such a big issue. I mean, we tend to deal with it chronically, some of us way more than others. But low back inflammation doesn't have to be a permanent thing. It doesn't even have to be chronic. Yeah. So I thought I would bring my handy dandy mat just to kind of soften the floor beneath me, to show you guys some basic moves that you can do in order to kind of kill that low back inflammation. Now, one of the things we got to remember is that low back inflammation doesn't have to do with this part. It has a lot more to do with the muscles around. So low back inflammation. Absolutely, and it can really have a lot to do with tight core. It can have a lot to do with tight hips, and that can generate from the inner thighs, from the outer thighs, from hamstrings. So without going into too much detail about why we tend to have these low back issues, I want to give you guys a couple of different exercises. One being a sumo squat. This is such a good squat because it helps to activate the inner thighs. One of the key ways to kill inflammation is through activation, gentle activation. So that's what we're doing here. We're just activating.
So when people think I'm hurting, my back hurts, I can't exercise, I can't move, that's the wrong way to look at it.
You should actually do the total opposite.
Wow.
You should do the total antithesis. You should get up and you should actually do movement because your body was made to move. And when you have more movement, that increases circulation. More circulation decreases inflammation.
So how, if you are experiencing those pains, how often or how many reps, I guess I should phrase it that way, should you be doing when you start these exercises?
Yeah, so a lot of these exercises are just kind of primer moves. And primer moves are those moves that we do in order to sort of get our body ready to to work out. So that's what these primer moves do. They kind of send good lubricant to the joints and to the nervous system. And we don't have to do them in large repetitions. So 8 to 10 reps per move is going to be what you want to aim for, 2 to 3 rounds. And you can do this intermittently throughout the day. You can do it in the morning and at night.
And so you start with the sumo squat.
Yeah, start with my sumo squat, yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to start bilaterally or with both sides. We're going to do a nice squat. And I'm staying nice and upright. I tend to tell my clients to shift their hips back toward the ground. But in this case, we're going to stand upright. And before you get started, preliminaries include pulling that back, pulling the core into the spine. So that means pulling the belly button in. You should still be able to breathe, but just pulling your belly button in incorporates more core.
Okay.
So you're going to stand upright, keep that chest proud. We're going to do a couple more reps here. And remember to breathe. We don't breathe enough.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm holding my breath just looking at you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got to breathe. Now, once we get done from here, we can segue into more unilateral movements, such as a standing abduction. If you are new to standing abductions, then grab something that's not going to allow you to fall.
Yeah, something sturdy.
Grab something sturdy and go into a standing abduction. Now make sure again that your belly button is pulled into your spine and you're not shifting your weight too much. You want your feet to be shoulder width apart so that when you separate the legs and that abduct one, you're not shifting all of your weight and counterbalancing.
Okay, that's important, especially as the expecting moms out there know, you lose balance as you are growing a child.
Absolutely.
We have about one more minute, James. How would you wrap up this exercise?
So, I would go into some leg lifts, and these are really good for, again, targeting more core-specific moves.
It makes sense now with everything that you're doing because everything that you're doing is affecting your lower back.
Your lower back.
Yes.
Your lower back.
I never looked at it that way.
Yeah. And if you sit down throughout the day, if you got an in-home job or if you have a desk job that you're at more than 4 hours, 5 hours a day, like most of us are, then it's a really good idea to keep that back, keep that circulation going. And as you're raising the legs, you want to squeeze the glute of the leg that's staying on the ground, okay? And that glute activation is, again, going to help reiterate lower inflammation in the low back. Our tight glutes do precede a tight low back. So stretch your butt out a little bit.
Stretch it out. And I'm so glad, again, the big takeaway here, if you are experiencing low back inflammation, make sure you move. Just don't keep sitting there because you can actually move the pain away. James, I know that you're active in the community. Any upcoming events that you have?
You know, we've got an event in April with Aetna. It's called the Columbia Wave Fest. So I'll give you guys more information as that comes into play. But yeah, look out for that in April.
All right.
And St. Patrick's Day, I'll be at St. Patrick's Day emceeing for City of Columbia this next Saturday.
Of course,
from 10
James
to 2.
Patrick. He does
James
it all.
St. Patrick Day.
Yay. I love it. Oh, that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We have much more Soda City Live coming up for Be Well Wednesday. Today, or actually this month, is Nutrition Month. So we're going to tell you how to stay healthy with the foods that you eat with a registered dietitian. Nutritionist Day right around the corner. We'll be right back.
Be Well Wednesday is sponsored by